Gino Torretta.
It's been a long time since you've seen Oklahoma Sooner fans at a bowl game. But guess what? They're back. At Oklahoma, Bud Wilkinson won 3 national titles. Barry Switzer, 3 more. As the century closes, Bob Stoops has breathed new life into the Sooners. And he's done it in the air. Josh Heupel is one of the country's best quarterbacks. Ole Miss has a rich tradition, and David Cutcliffe has the Rebels in their 3rd straight bowl. He also has Deuce McAllister backs. 2 storied programs, 1 last game this century. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. It is almost Port. Ole Miss, Oklahoma, the Sanford Independence Bowl. Hi, everyone. I'm Rich Waltz. Welcome to Shreveport. It's the final college football game of the century, and appropriate that we have these 2 schools who started football in the late 1800s. They've combined in this last century for 9 national championships, and guess what? They have never met on the football field. And Gino Torretta, I think things are pretty good for the next century as well. These are 2 rising programs.
They're going to get started off on the right foot. Both these programs turning it around. Whoever wins this game, off to a good Y2K.
Hey, Oklahoma's doing it not the old-fashioned way. They're doing it through the air. Josh Heupel, their quarterback's a good one.
Josh Heupel, one of the best quarterbacks, Big 12, offensive newcomer of the year, does it through the air, very accurate passer.
His coach brought the fun and gun system from Florida. Bob Stoops was Steve Spurrier's defensive coordinator. David Cutcliffe at Ole Miss does it on the ground, at least for now. And he told us the good things happen when he gets the ball to Deuce.
Deuce McAllister, the most fastest player on Ole Miss team, outstanding receiver out of the backfield, great kick returner. Good things happen when number 22 has a big day. So look for Deuce to get the ball early and often. Averages over 8 yards every time he touches the football.
Both of these teams come in at 7-4. Neither of these teams were blown out this year. All of their losses, close ones. It's downright balmy in Shreveport. It feels like October, not New Year's Eve. We have an outstanding night for the final college football game of this century. A sold-out Independence Stadium. Tim Duncan will kick it off for the Sooners. McAllister dragged down at the 8-yard line, and a good start for Oklahoma. Ole Miss's quarterback is a good one. Romero Miller is a junior. He completed 54% of his passes. Gino, what are we looking for from this kid tonight?
They have to take pressure off Romero Miller. Deuce McAllister has to start off early. That'll open up the play-action pass. They can't rely on Miller to throw the ball 30 to 40 times to win this football game.
From his own 8. He will throw it. McAllister. Deuce across the 15. Bounced out of bounds at the 16. 8-yard pickup. Our Sun Microsystems starting lineups for Ole Miss. Second in the SEC in rushing. And Deuce McAllister will get blocking from Charles Stackhouse. It's a pro-type set. Good receivers in Maurice Flournoy and Corey Peterson. They don't throw to Bettis often at all. It's a very young offensive line, but they only gave up 16 sacks. A very good run-blocking offensive line. No gain on that carry. Ryan Fisher made the stop for Oklahoma. The Sooners defense, 7th overall in the Big 12 Conference. It's a 4-3 look. Up front, the men to watch, the guys in the middle. Barry Holloman and Ryan Fisher. 31 sacks for this group. The linebackers are really good. Torrance Marshall, 7 sacks, leads the team. Rocky Kalmus leads in tackles. The corners are the best, many people feel, in the Big 12. Bartee and Woods, that pair good. Rideau and Williams, the safeties. very close to the first down. Torrance Marshall and Rocky Kalmus, the two linebackers, made the stop.
Rich, Ole Miss has come out and did just as we expected. Get the ball to Deuce McAllister, whether on the swing pass out of the backfield as a receiver or running the football. I think for Ole Miss to be successful, I'd rather see them throw the football to 22 than running in there tight.
It sounds strange to say it, Gino, but Oklahoma hasn't really seen a running offense like this that often in the Big 12 this year.
There's a lot of new coaches, a lot of new teams in this conference. So the Big 12, traditionally known for running the football, most of them like throwing the football now.
David Cutcliffe in his first year, but not his first Independence Bowl. He coached this team in the Independence Bowl last year when he took over for Tommy Tuberville and won it in an upset over Texas Tech. Miller on 1st and 10. In trouble. Throwing to the sideline. And incomplete. Corey Heineke was in hot pursuit of Romaro Miller.
Even though that's an incompletion, Rich, a good play by Romaro Miller. There's nobody there. Oklahoma is pressuring. They're bringing the blitz. Miller able to break contain and throw that football away. You have to look at that. Ole Miss has to look at that as a positive play.
Bob Stoops, one of the bright young coaches in college football, 39 years of age. 3 years the defensive coordinator at Florida. Spent 7 years at Kansas State. And what a first year he's had in Norman. Straight ahead with the fullback, Charles Stackhouse. Ryan Fisher, Corey Callens made the stop.
Fisher and Holloman have established their line of scrimmage early, Rich. They're not letting Ole Miss push them off the football. So what's Ole Miss going to have to do? They're going to have to try to pitch the ball, break contain, get outside running the football as opposed to running it inside the tackles.
In a 4-receiver set. On 3rd and 9. Sooners show blitz. And here they come. Miller. Deflected. Incomplete. Torrance Marshall on the blitz. And Oklahoma's defense holds.
Good coverage by Torrance Marshall and Romaro Miller. You can't try to jam that ball in there. That was tight coverage. Throw that football away and let your punt team come out here. You can't risk turnover this early in the ball game.
Reagan King is back to punt. Jarrell Jackson, one of the more exciting punt returners in the Big 12, is deep. Jackson. Out to the 45-yard line. 47-yard punt, 11-yard return. Full house here in Shreveport, including Don McPherson.
That's right, Rich. It is a full house. And when Bob Stoops came to Norman, he did more than just bring an exciting offense and restore a great tradition in Oklahoma. He brought excitement back to the fans here. And when they announced that they were going to play in the Independence Bowl, they sold out in the first day. In fact, 31,000 fans have come to Shreveport to ring in the new year with their Sooners.
And now our first look at this Oklahoma offense. Four receivers. And it's a give to Quentin Griffin, who breaks a tackle. And another. And he's down to the 42-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup. Our Sun Microsystem starting lineups for Oklahoma. Josh Heupel, the trigger man. Quentin Griffin just got the football. You'll see some of these backs, but mostly you'll see a 3, sometimes 4 receiver set. Curtis Fagan, Jarrell Jackson, and Brandon Daniels. Daniels is your big play guy. 50 catches this year. Offensive line very good. Romero, Smith, O'Neal, Bertram, and McDougal. Josh Heupel got it his man at the 32, Jarrell Jackson. Tim Strickland on the coverage. The Rebels are decent against the pass. They did set a record, this front four, with 38 sacks, third in the SEC this year. The linebackers are good. Armijah Spearman is sort of the spiritual leader of this team. Eddie Strong is the leading tackler. Corners are pretty good. Lucas and Strickland, Hurd and Taylor are the safeties. 11 yards on that pickup. Heupel, a quick throw, and it's caught. Brandon Daniels. And the Sooner Express is rolling. 14 yards on that pickup.
Josh Heupel, Coach Stoops, and the offensive coordinator, Mark Mangino, told us he's a very hard-working quarterback, very studious. Reminds Stoops a lot of when Danny Werfel was at the University of Florida. A good quarterback to be compared to.
3 plays, 3 first downs. The kid from Aberdeen, South Dakota, Josh Heupel, with time, throwing. Broken up at the 2. Seneca Taylor on the coverage of Trent Smith, the tight end.
And Josh Heupel came to Trent Smith late. Trent Smith was running right down the middle of the field, wide open. Didn't hit the receiver early, and Seneca Taylor able to come across and bat the ball down. Here you see in the shotgun formation, looking to the left, not his primary receiver. Trent Smith comes to him late, gives Taylor a chance to come and bat the ball down.
On second down, blitz coming to the end zone, and too far for Jackson. You know, Josh Heupel, for many college football fans, sort of came out of nowhere. Here's a kid that went to Snow Junior College after he started his collegiate career at Weber State University in the Big Sky Conference, a 1AA school. And when Bob Stoops saw him on film, he liked him. And it was Mike Leach, the offensive coordinator, that brought him here. Leach, of course, has left Oklahoma to be the head coach at Houston. He is not here tonight. Heupel's throw deflected. Sooners want interference. Tim Strickland made the play.
Rich, going back to your point, Josh Heupel, sometimes in recruiting, players fall through the cracks. There you see the throws a little high, good coverage by Strickland. But Heupel just may have fallen through the cracks a little bit. Recruiting processes aren't perfect for every school, and sometimes it takes a film sent by yourself to get recruited, and that's what Heupel did.
35 yards for Tim Duncan. Missed it. So the Sooners not on the board yet. Ole Miss and Oklahoma in Shreveport.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Sanford Independence Bowl is presented by Sharpie Permanent Markers from Sanford. Mark whatever you want. And in part by Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler.
Binion's Horseshoe right on the river in downtown Shreveport. Bob Stoops, his offense gets the headlines, but Gino, he's made his living as a defensive guy, and this is a good defense.
It's a good defense, and people don't realize Oklahoma's 15 points away from being undefeated and 11-0.
Miller. Sanford with the catch. William Barty made the hit. 7 yards on the pickup toward Sanford, the freshman. Both of these teams have had good seasons, but you know the margin here, Ole Miss 15, Oklahoma 38. Neither team's been blown out this year.
And that's a credit to both of these coaches. As a first-year coach, I was in the same thing happened to me at the University of Miami. Jimmy Johnson left, Dennis Erickson came in. Players have to buy into these coaches' systems, and they did it early. and that's going to be a great asset, and it's a tremendous asset to these coaches to have your players believe in you in their first season.
Little Joe Gunn picks up the first down for Ole Miss. Corey Heineke made the stop. There's a look at Gunn. We told you about McAllister, but Joe Gunn has 6 100-yard games from his running back spot this year.
And David Cutcliffe told us Gunn and McAllister are very complementary of each other. So it's not to say one can have a great game by himself. They both rely on each other to have a good game.
Miller holding, throwing, open is Flournoy. He's got it. At the 25. 45-yard pickup. Maurice Flournoy with the catch.
And Cutcliffe, also a great offensive mind. You see Miller sit in the pocket, pump fake, hits Flournoy deep down the sidelines. He's given Oklahoma a lot. A super throw by Miller and a good catch by Maurice Flournoy.
Longest catch of the year for Flournoy. Ole Miss into Sooner territory for the first time. Miller. McAllister open, touchdown, Rebels! Deuce is loose.
Another great call by David Cutcliffe. They fake the counter. And usually when that happens, the linebackers in man coverage, after a play action fake, they'll forget about the running back. I don't know how you can forget about McAllister because he is your big play guy. But he's able to get behind the linebacker. Miller finds him.
Binkley with the extra point. Ole Miss. The Rebels in the end zone first. Romero Miller. Deuce McAllister. It's 7-0. 7-0. Ole Miss on top of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma comes up and wants to pressure and blitz Ole Miss. But what happens?
He'll be back.
You'll see Rideau, the safety. He's accountable for McAllister right here in man coverage. They make the play action fake, and Rideau steps up in the line of scrimmage. But after the fake, forgets about covering McAllister as a pass receiver, and he gets by him. Romero Miller finds him over the top for the 6 points.
Jackson. Darrell Jackson out to the 21. And remember this, Gino, about Ole Miss coach David Cutcliffe, because we've only focused on the running game. But he was the guy that was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, and he was the guy that many people credited. Obviously, he was a pretty talented guy to begin with much of Peyton Manning's success and that Tennessee Volunteer passing game.
Well, as the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, he had an outstanding success, especially with quarterbacks. Started with Andy Kelly, Heath Schuler, Peyton Manning, and T. Martin. He had a hand in coaching all of them and a hand in all of their successes.
Eichel. Oh, my, a big hit. Damian Mackey was sandwiched and held on to it for a very painful 5-yard reception.
What Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, is doing, he's giving Heupel and the Oklahoma offense all sorts of different looks. Aren't sure if it's man coverage, if they're blitzing, if it's zone. That's what you have to do to a throwing offense. You have to confuse the quarterbacks and receivers on the particular coverage.
Heupel on a quick screen. Antoine Savage to the 30. That's short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and a long one.
The Oklahoma offense averaging over 36 points a game scoring. They're number 9 in the NCAA in passing here tonight.
A long 3rd and 1 here. Rebels show blitz. Come with 4. First down. Damian Mackey. Tim Strickland on the coverage. 9-yard pickup.
That was a great job by Josh Heupel, sensing the pressure, getting out of the pocket, going to not his first or second read, going to his 3rd receiver, and picking up the key first down.
First and 10 Oklahoma at the 39-yard line.
First and 10 now at the 38-yard line. Heupel's throw on the mark, dropped, and picked up. It'll be a catch, a fumble, and an Ole Miss ball. Anzi
Williams recovered the fumble, but credit Art Kaufman. Ole Miss shows blitz. Josh Heupel sees the safeties come down. He audibles to a good blitz throw, and his receiver, the Ole Miss defense, then changes, comes out of it, plays its own coverage, confuses Heupel. This is what Ole Miss is having good success. Art Kaufman's got a great game plan here today.
Tim Strickland with the hit. And Anzi Williams, the recovery. McAllister. To the 18, 21 yards.
When David Cutcliffe started talking about Deuce McAllister, his eyes started lighting up, said this kid is an outstanding football player. He's the type of player that used to be at we used to coach at the University of Tennessee. Great receiver, great runner of the football, and he will be a legitimate Heisman candidate next year.
And most importantly, just like Tennessee, very fast.
Very fast, and that is the key ingredient.
Miller's in trouble. And he goes down at the 27. Barry Holloman. Along with Roger Steffen.
And don't think the Ole Miss defense is going to be the only one to pressure today. Oklahoma is going to come with a whole bunch of different blitz, whether it's a zone blitz, play zone behind a blitz, or they're going to play all-out man and bring everybody. Ole Miss is going to see as many variations of a defense as their offense is.
On 2nd and 18. Screen pass. It's picked off! Heineke! Heineke to the 20. yards on the return.
Rich, Ole Miss set up this screen beautifully. Lamar Miller takes a snap, takes a few steps, but there's one problem. Corey Heineke, here you see the defensive end. Watch the tackle. He doesn't get him cut, doesn't get him to the ground. Heineke fights off the block, intercepts the pass. And now we see the speed of McAllister run down Heineke.
And maybe saving 6 points. Sooners on the ground. Quentin Griffin, the 17-yard line.
In Romaro Miller's defense on that last play, it's awful to throw an interception on a screen, but I guarantee he did not even see Heineke, because when he's throwing that football, Heineke's on his knees trying to fight off a block and makes a very athletic play to intercept that football.
Temple. Quick throw is dropped. Seth Littrell is the intended receiver. It has been a great Circuit City Bowl week, and it ends tomorrow with the Outback Bowl. It all starts at 9:30 Eastern with game day. Then number 20 Purdue against number 24 Georgia. Drew Brees in Purdue. 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. It's tomorrow on ESPN. Your home for Bowl week. Third and 7. Heupel completes. Chris Hammond, the junior out of Sulphur, Oklahoma. Couldn't hold it.
Oklahoma, just like the University of Florida, likes to run a lot of crossing routes underneath and get their players, their receivers open in zone coverage. What Ole Miss is doing a good job of, they're bringing different players down in different zones and confusing Heupel. Unless the Oklahoma offense can figure out just what Ole Miss is doing, looks to be they're going to get stopped like that every drive.
Tim Duncan missed from 35. This from 34. And this is good.
34-yard field goal attempt by Tim Duncan is good. 5:22 remaining.
Oklahoma on the scoreboard. The Sooners trail the Rebels 7-3.
Christmas Shepherd Sports Special and Christmas Shepherd Team Night.
First night celebration in Oklahoma City. Things are just getting started. They're watching this game on the side of a building. To all you folks in Oklahoma City, your Sooners are on the board. Ole Miss and Oklahoma from a sold-out Independence Bowl. 7-3 Rebels.
Tim Duncan on the kickoff for Oklahoma.
Tim Duncan.
Larry Short and Seneca Taylor receiving for Ole Miss.
McAllister, or rather Taylor. And Taylor is down at the 8-yard line. Let's go down below. Don McPherson.
Hey, Rich, both coaches on the sidelines are telling their teams to settle down. It seems like both defenses have come out and playing very aggressive. Oklahoma coaches were talking about settling down and recognizing the blitz, recognizing the pressures. Obviously, on this sideline, Mississippi has to settle down after that interception. It was a costly one, and they have to bounce back.
Miller from the 9. Quick throw to Peterson. And Corey Peterson is out to the 20-yard line.
And that little hitch route by Peterson will bring Miller, start to regain his confidence. Oklahoma once again comes up with 8 men in the box. They're going to pressure. Just a 3-step quick throw. And Peterson able to pick up 9 yards.
Second and less than a yard for Ole Miss.
Not a bad start for Miller, though the one pick was a big one. Charles Stackhouse, the carry.
Charles Stackhouse, the ball carrier.
And Rich, one thing I do like, David Miller throw the football as a quarterback. Whenever I would throw an interception, I hated to go the next drive a couple plays without throwing the football again, saying, hey, I'm going to complete some passes, not make any more mistakes like that.
Cutcliffe serves as the offensive coordinator. Flournoy slipped while in motion. Miller was hit as he throws, and it's picked off. Intercepted. William Barty. Torrance Marshall made the hit, and Barty had it thrown right at him.
Romaro Miller makes a huge mistake He hopes this corner route is open. It's a corner route by his tight end. You'll see him out of the corner of your screen. He does not see the underneath coverage, throws the football, and Torrance Marshall just mauls Romaro Miller. And I think that's why the throw is inaccurate and why it was picked off.
And the Sooners are right back in business. The Ole Miss 29. Heupel to his tight end, Trent Smith. To the 26. It's a gain of only 4.
Rich, one thing as a quarterback, with all the different looks Heupel's seeing from the Ole Miss defense, it's going to force him to hold that ball just that extra half of a second. And what does that do? That's going to create more sacks for the Ole Miss defense. So he's got to start getting into his own rhythm and start getting rid of the ball a little bit faster.
Griffin to the 23-yard line. Oklahoma averages just 105 yards a game on the ground. Dead last in the Big 12 Conference. But that's okay when you average 321 through the air, first in the Big 12.
You have to do one thing well, and Oklahoma throws it very well.
Ole Miss has too many men on the field. If they get the right number on before the snap. On 3rd and 5. Heupel lost it. Who's got it? Ole Miss says they do. And they do.
Rich, Art Kaufman has come out today with a super game plan for Ole Miss. Heupel sees blitz or an apparent blitz by the defense, changes the play, gets a little antsy, and forgets about getting the snap. There you see it looks like a good snap by the center, but he's anticipating getting the ball and maybe having a shot to go for the end zone, and Clancy able to recover the fumble.
Kendrick Clancy, the senior out of Tuscaloosa. 4 turnovers already. We've got 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Back to basics. Joe Gunn. Joe Gunn is a sophomore. Deuce McAllister is a junior. They'll both be back next year, and that's good news. Add the numbers up to carry every time they carry.
And Gunn with 600-yard games this season, and McAllister with 4. But McAllister has been dinged up with a bad shoulder since 2 days, and he's just starting to regain his full health.
167 yards per game between the two. Miller to throw it, and completes it out to the 34-yard line.
Miller has the complete
Jamie Armstrong. 4 yards on the pickup. 3rd down and short. And Gino, 3rd and short for any team is important, but I think especially for Ole Miss.
Especially for Ole Miss. Look at that, 38% conversion rate, but 1st and 2nd down are a bigger key to this offense because they don't throw the ball 40 times like Oklahoma.
Miller. Incomplete, but what a great defensive play by Roy Williams.
Miller has to start taking what's there. He makes a good play action fake, boots around the corner, tries to force that ball, and Roy Williams comes up with a great defensive play. Watch when he makes the play action fake. He boots around the corner. He could have run for the yard, picked up the 1st down, but tries to force that ball in there, and Williams almost picks it off.
Williams out of the San Francisco Bay Area, Union City, California. Reagan King. Jackson lets it bounce. And the Sooners will have good field position on a 30-yard punt. Final weekend of the NFL, and it starts with Sunday NFL Countdown at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Join Chris Berman and the gang. They'll preview the final weekend in the NFL. Then at 7:30, another edition of NFL Prime Time. Chris and Tom Jackson will have all the highlights from around the NFL. They'll look ahead to the playoffs. Log on to ESPN.com. As you know, it's part of the Go Network. Go.com. Heupel, a quick throw. Curtis Fagan on the screen. Ken Lucas came up and made the stop. 3 yards on the pickup.
Rich, the Ole Miss offense has to start capitalizing on these opportunities that their defense is giving them. The Oklahoma offense is too dangerous to just keep giving them the ball back and not scoring points with these turnovers.
Probably a lot of the same stuff that David Cutcliffe is whispering into Romero Miller's ear right now. Heupel in trouble. That one is almost intercepted, and that would have been 6 points. Justin Blake, the redshirt freshman. Tyler Williams on the pressure.
The Ole Miss defense is coming out, and they are hungry. Here you see just a little tackle and mix. That's a loop, and you see the guard and tackle don't communicate with each other, and Blake able to get in and pressure Josh Heupel.
Oklahoma looking at 3rd and 7 as the first quarter winds down. Blitz coming. Heupel caught. Trent Smith. First down Sooners. And Ole Miss, the 46-yard line of Ole Miss. Anthony McGee made the stop.
And a nice job by Heupel there. Stands in the face of that pressure. He knows the blitz is coming. He has confidence in his offensive line that they're going to pick up, know their assignments. Find his tight end over the middle, Trent Smith.
On 1st and 10, a little shovel pass to Griffin. To the 42. It's a gain of 4. Kamon Fisher made the stop. 1 quarter of the final football game of this century. It's in the books. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Deuce McAllister with the only touchdown. It's 7-3 after 1. Oklahoma traveled over 30,000 to this game. This place holds about 50,000, and it's full. 2nd and 6. Heupel. Out of the backfield, Griffin. Short of the first down. Armijah Spearman made the stop. They weren't sure if Spearman would make it to the Independence Bowl. He didn't practice. He was injured the tail end of the regular season, but they're glad he's back.
They didn't get the bowl pre-practice. What that is, that time from their last game to Christmas break is bowl pre-practice. Then after Christmas, these teams will come back and fine-tune their game plans for the bowl event.
They're having trouble with the chains over on the sidelines. Now that they've straightened them out. That's such a concern, Gino, staying sharp. How did you guys do it at Miami for bowl preparation?
Practiced hard, Rich. I really think these bowl teams we're seeing, it's just been a little sloppy. These teams need to settle down and get in the groove.
3rd down. Heupel. Caught. Drops. And incomplete. Josh Norman is complete. Out of bounds. And short of the first down.
Rich, one thing we were fortunate to have at Miami, you need good leaders on teams. I think both of these ball clubs are a little young and don't really understand. This is Oklahoma's first bowl game since 1994, so they haven't been through the process. The more and more these players go through the process, the more refined their bowl game will be.
It's a fake, dropped, and that's a great play by Peterson. Had he caught it, the ball would have been marked where he was tackled. Instead, it's come heads-up play by Corey Peterson of Ole Miss. (7-3) Ole Miss on top of Oklahoma. The Rebels get it when we get back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Sanford Independence Bowl is brought to you by American Airlines American Eagle. Something special in the air. And by Dodge. Do not follow. Do not conform. Be different.
Downtown Shreveport, 64 degrees at kickoff. Here's a wild look. It's Deuce McAllister. These two teams are trying to out-formation each other.
McAllister with a swing pass.
Both of these teams trying to use a little trickery. Here you see the snap to the up back. Patrick Fletcher, he's the backup quarterback. Then the wide receiver, Brandon Daniels, throws the ball. Peterson makes a great play, throws the football down. He realizes if he catches that, his team is going to have worse field position if he gets the interception. Good heads-up play by Peterson.
And a loss of 4 on that first down play for Ole Miss. Peterson out to the 43. Gino, another thing you see in bowl games, sometimes offenses try to get a little too cute. They have so much time to prepare. Sometimes they put a little too much in.
And that will affect a young ball club. I think you have to go back to your base offense and your base defense, especially early on. Limit the mistakes. Both these teams maybe a little bit fired up, a little bit. Their adrenaline's going a little fast right now. They need to settle down, start playing their ball game.
Third down 4. Miller caught by Peterson, right on the stick, landed on the stick. It's got to hurt. They have broken the stick.
There you see Peterson making the key catch again.
He bent it.
We've had problems with the chain gang all game, Rich.
Look at that thing.
Take a look at Peterson. Just runs a simple hitch route. Romaro Miller throws it to the outside. That's a very accurate throw. You see Peterson fight for that extra yardage and pick up the first down.
Just short of midfield. Miller. Lots of time. A good strike to L.J. Taylor, who makes the catch. It's into Sooner territory. The final college football game of the century. Shreveport, Louisiana. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Two programs that started in the late 1800s. 9 national championships combined. They have never met on the football field.
Both of these teams on the way back to their old prominence.
Movement, flags. And Joe Gunn to the 33, but let's wait on the laundry. Gunn gets up limping.
Across the 35 to about the 30-40 line.
Offsides by the Oklahoma defense. Joe Gunn, he's very complimentary, as we noted, to Deuce McAllister. Take a look. We can't tell, but see Joe Gunn just explode through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Oklahoma was across the line when there was initial movement by the Ole Miss line.
A lot of pointing down. Did you see the movement? I didn't see the movement if there was, but Gunn, I like his style and how he ran. He saw the crease, exploded through the line of scrimmage. That's why David Cutcliffe is so excited about these two running backs. They're very complimentary of one another.
Shut it on the screen. You missed it again.
On the 34 now. Toward Sanford. That last exchange between Bob Stoops and the officiating crew was, hey, we saw it on the screen. I'm not sure Bob saw the angle that we saw, the second angle, Gene. The first look at that replay, you saw the movement by the left side of the Ole Miss line right before the snap. But on our second look, you saw the Oklahoma defensive line well across the line of scrimmage.
Well, if they were drawn off sides by movement for the guard, it should have been a penalty on Ole Miss.
David Morris in at quarterback. McAllister throwing it to Morris, and I think he landed in section 3B. He was looking for Kirk Kittner last night.
A smart play by Deuce McAllister. He takes the toss, turns around. It's a simple toss throwback to Morris, the quarterback. McAllister sees that Morris is covered, doesn't try to force the ball, throws it out of bounds. Never in NCAA history, Rich, has a ball ever been completed out of bounds.
You're right. Romero Miller back in, confusion on the field. Timeout will break as well. 7-3 Ole Miss. Earlier this week on Wednesday, both teams took part in the Sharpie autograph party. It's the Sanford Independence Bowl. Sanford makes those Sharpie pens that are best for autographs. And making signs around the stadium as well. And if you want a big sign, you've got to have a big pen. Third down 5. Miller is back in. Miller looking, running, right on the sticks.
Miller keeps it for Ole Miss. Corey Heineke on the tackle.
Pee Wee Woods made the stop for Oklahoma.
And that's an extra dimension of Romero Miller. He has outstanding mobility. Here you see checks 1, 2, 3. His receivers nowhere to go with the football, able to use his feet to scamper for the first down.
1st and 10. Here's Don McPherson. Donnie.
Hey, Rich, I talked to the trainer, and he said Romero Miller did hurt his ankle on that second interception that he threw. It's limited him a little, but if you look at that last play, it doesn't seem like it's going to hamper him too much.
Next down on 1st and 10. Little inside screen to Peterson. Gets inside. Corey Peterson to the 15-yard line. A 9-yard pickup. And the Rebels getting closer. Corey Heineke, the sophomore out of Edmond, Oklahoma.
And Ole Miss taking a wrinkle from Oklahoma's playbook. They spread the field, 4 wide receivers, a little wide receiver screen. Peterson able to pick up 8 yards on that catch.
David Cutcliffe made a pretty good living with that play at Tennessee.
He had some outstanding quarterbacks and receivers that he was coaching there at Tennessee.
On 2nd and 1. Toward Sanford. Toward the end zone. Down to the 10.
No relation to Sanford, Sharpie?
No, but he's very happy to come to the Sanford Independence. Rocky Calmus trying to fire up that Oklahoma defense. This year, this defense allowed only 6 rushing touchdowns. And And there's Kalmus to make the play. Just a sophomore, Jenks High School.
114 tackles this season, Rich, and he fights off the block and makes a super tackle. Get 14 tackles for loss. He's going to be a good one in the next couple years.
Jenks High School, Tulsa, Oklahoma. 8.5 left, first half. Ole Miss on the move. Miller, open, caught, touchdown, Adam Bettis. That's 2 touchdowns now for Romero Miller.
And a nice job of recognizing coverage by Romero Miller. Oklahoma busts the coverage. They don't usually throw to their tight ends. Bettis, they come out, Bettis and Ziegler. It's a 2 tight end formation set. Miller looks to the left, looks off the safeties, and come back and finds Bettis for only his 2nd touchdown catch this season.
And only his 6th catch overall, Gino.
Pretty good ratio of touchdown to catches.
Adam Bettis with the catch. And Romero Miller, who threw 3 touchdowns in this game last year in the upset over Texas Tech. Right now, he's got 2, and Ole Miss has the lead. 14-3, Ole Miss on top of Oklahoma. Adam Bettis, just his 6th catch all year long.
And Ole Miss has only thrown 9 balls to the tight ends. Look at this. There's no coverage on Bettis. I'm sure the Oklahoma defense and the defensive coaches felt if we see a 2 tight end look, we're going to take our chances and blitz and no one cover the tight end. And Miller does a good job of seeing the non-coverage and finding his tight end for a touchdown.
Carlisle McGee getting set to kick it off. Jarrell Jackson to the 32-yard line. Coming up on ESPN Classic, you can catch the entire Sports Century countdown of the 50 greatest athletes of the 20th century. Beginning tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Classic will show every athlete, number 50 down to number 1. The marathon ends on Sunday, January 2nd, 7 o'clock, with the top 2 athletes of the 20th century. To order ESPN Classic, 1-800-CLASSIC or call your cable provider. Josh Heupel in trouble. Still on his feet. A sliding try, but it's incomplete. Damian Mackey, the intended receiver.
Heupel does a good job of avoiding the rush. The front 4 of Ole Miss is getting pressure on him. He senses the pressure, able to get away out of the grasp. There you see, just fighting off. He's a big, strong kid, able to have good footwork. Tries to make a nice throw on the run. That ball should have been caught for him. Damian Mackey should start making plays. These wide receivers have to start making plays for Heupel.
He slips. The knee did not touch. And this one's caught. Savage. Antoine Savage to the Ole Miss 38-yard line. 31 yards on the completion.
We just talked about Heupel's footwork. Drops back, slips on his initial setup. The good thing I like is he stays alive and gets outside of the pocket, able to still find his wide receiver down the field.
On 1st and 10, bubble screen. Daniels caught from behind by Derek Burgess. The fine defensive end out of Riverdale, Maryland.
Rich, and I really think that last pass, it was a bubble screen to Daniels, but it looks like he was setting up to throw to one of his other receivers. Looks like it was going to be a double pass. Didn't see it open. Daniels does a good job of tucking it under and picking up some good yardage.
Remember, it was Daniels that threw the pass. It was incomplete on the fake punt.
Daniels was a quarterback last year here for Oklahoma.
Over the right side, Griffin to the 32-yard line. Armijah Spearman made the stop.
That was one thing Mark Mangino, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma, told us. When they first arrived on campus, they had no receivers that had caught a pass last season. You go from no receivers to catching a pass to throwing the ball 35 to 50 times a game. They've stepped up big this season for them.
5 receivers with over 20 catches this year. Heupel doesn't like the look. On 3rd and 3, Griffin slips one tackle and has the first down. What a run. Quentin Griffin, the freshman out of Aldine, Texas.
Good job of audible by Heupel. He switches his running back, sees something in the front 7 of Ole Miss that wasn't. Switches the running backs.
Ball came out at the end. Scott Kempenick ended up with a football for Oklahoma. Heupel, incomplete. Chris Hammonds was the intended receiver, the tight end.
With all of these different looks defensively that Ole Miss is giving Heupel as a quarterback, you have an internal clock in your head when you're throwing the football. You're dropping back, setting up in the pocket, have about 2.5 seconds to make your decision and deliver the football. What all these different looks do, they throw off your sense of timing, your sense of rhythm with your wide receivers. That's why you're seeing a lot of incompletions here early.
Heupel through. Griffin. Boy, that little kid's tough. 5'6", 186. And he's just picked up another first down. That's some effort.
It was great effort and a great job by Heupel. You see him, he gets pressure. The Ole Miss defense does a good job with their front 4 of pressuring Heupel. He steps up in the pocket, able to avoid the rush, finds his outlet receiver, dumps it to him, picks up some good yardage and a first down.
An impressive Oklahoma drive. Griffin inside the 10. Al Rice made the stop.
Quentin Griffin doesn't get a chance to run with the football that often, but he does average over 6 yards every time he runs with the football. There you see him just dodging and weaving in there and picking up. Those are big yards. Anytime you're in the red zone, anytime you could pick up 3-4 yards, that's key for your offense.
Heupel to the corner. It is picked off. Timmy Strickland.
Strickland does a great job of not allowing the receiver with inside leverage. What it forces a perfect pass by Heupel, but Strickland is right there and picks it off. There you see Heupel trying to throw the ball to the back of the end zone, underthrows it a little bit, but Strickland is right there. You see the throw. He's just throwing this to a spot, and Strickland doesn't bite it. Comes up and makes a big interception and a big turnover for the Ole Miss defense.
9 plays, 60 yards, ending in the 3rd turnover, as you see. 4 minutes on that drive. McAllister, Deuce is loose. He will
Deuce McAllister, a 4.2840 time. And Coach Cutcliffe told us yesterday, if he breaks contain, there is no one that will catch him. And he showed there nice strength through the line of scrimmage. And boy, he was moving on that run.
The extra point now. What a huge interception by Strickland. The point is good. Deuce McAllister with the longest touchdown run in Independence Bowl history. And Ole Miss has raced to a 21-3 lead. They've played this football game, the Sanford Independence Bowl, 24 times, and that's the longest touchdown run they've seen here in Shreveport. A stunning sequence for Oklahoma. Jackson, oh my, as he popped. Flags go down, back of the 35-yard line.
That's a big turn of events for Ole Miss. The interception and then the ensuing 80-yard touchdown run by McAllister.
Jim McConaughey and his Big East crew. Let's head to the studios. Brian Kenny. Hey, Brian.
Hello, Rich. Coming up on the Dodge Halftime Report, we'll check in with the bowl games of the day. 2 close games and 1 impressive blowout. Chris Fowler, along with Lee and Kirk, will be at the Sugar Bowl with a report there, talking about Media Day with the Seminoles. And Coach John Makovic with the answer to his football riddle. We'll see you at the half, Rich.
Thanks, Brian. Nice look as everyone's getting ready for the big turning of the clock. And they had the clock on Deuce McAllister this time.
Take a look. Claxton the center. Vincent right guard. And Todd Wade, the All-American tackle on the right side. Open up a big hole for McAllister. You see great balance. There's some contact there. Knocks him off his feet. But as soon as he gets his feet back under him, there's not a soul that's going to come close to catching him. What's even more impressive, when you run with the football like that, it slows you down.
Charles Stackhouse, the fullback, also had a nice block. Tyler Williams made the stop for Ole Miss. Oklahoma has moved the football. But boy, when they've made a mistake, it's been a big one.
You know, in all of these bowl games, we've either seen mistakes in the special teams, whether it's block kicks, block punts, or turnovers by an offense. Those will make the difference in the football game. Anytime you have turnovers by an offense, usually give the advantage to the other team.
Heupel on second down. In the end zone, finds Griffin. And Griffin, nice move there. I like Quentin Griffin. Chad Cook makes the stop. 21 yards on the catch and run.
Good job. This is just a delay route by Quentin Griffin. What Heupel's supposed to do, just takes the snap, looks downfield, invites the rush towards him, just finds Griffin. Griffin, yards after the catch. There you see the
Griffin again to the 35-yard line. Tuesday on ABC Sports, the Nokia Sugar Bowl. And they'll settle it, finally. 8 Eastern, number 2, Virginia Tech. Number 1, Florida State for a national championship. Michael Vick and the Hokies trying to get their first title. Bobby Bowden and Florida State play for their 3rd championship in school history. ABC Sports, your home of the Bowl Championship Series. Reggie Skinner on the carry. If you're counting down with us to the new year, to the new century, welcome to Shreveport. The final college football game of this century, Ole Miss and Oklahoma. An exciting ball game with 2 minutes left in this first half. Ole Miss is up 21-3, and that is a surprise. On third down. A quick throw caught by Trent Smith, and he's out of bounds. With the first down, Don McPherson down below.
Hey, Rich, on the Oklahoma sideline, it's a combination of them being stunned and very frustrated. The coaches have pulled their teams together at different times and told them that Ole Miss is not doing anything new, not doing anything different, and they just have to step up their intensity and step up the level of their play.
Bob Stoops knows a thing or two about intensity. 21-3 Ole Miss. Remember, Oklahoma has not been blown out all year long. All 4 of their losses were rather close. Heupel is caught by Jackson. He's dropped immediately. Ronnie Hurd made the stop.
Oklahoma is not out of this ball game. They throw the ball. They've had a lot of success throwing the football, so they can get right back in this ball game with a couple big plays. If they can get a touchdown on the board here and go down by 11 at halftime, I think they would consider that a little bit of success and try to use that as momentum for the second half.
Clock continues to roll. Sooners have a pair of timeouts left. And Heupel threw it away and got hammered. Seneca Taylor laid the lumber on with some help from Justin Blake. At halftime, Brian Kenny and Coach John Makovic for the Dodge halftime report. Colorado with a big day. Bad news for Texas headed to the Cotton Bowl, and another clue in Coach Makovic's mystery. To talk about things that he will miss from this last century. David Cutcliffe's Rebels on top. Oklahoma with a big 3rd and 7. Heupel, lots of time. Still a lot. Caught by Jackson, who slipped. Has the first down. Clock will stop as they move the chains.
Rich, Jackson has to get out of bounds and help his offense there. He tries to fight for some extra yardage. A good defensive play by Ole Miss. Stays in bounds. Now the clock's going to restart as soon as his chains are set.
Gain is to the Ole Miss 40-yard line, 1st and 10 Oklahoma.
Ole Miss did not have the right personnel on. They call a timeout.
But they did gain 5 seconds there because the clock stopped at 41, and I think Oklahoma saw the timeout
and let it run. So it's at 36 right now. We'll return to Shreveport. Ole Miss on top. Oklahoma moving. If you haven't been to downtown Shreveport in a while, a lot has changed. There's a lot of building going on in this city. 36 seconds left. Out of the timeout by Ole Miss. Oklahoma has 2 timeouts left. Heupel to the sideline, and he get there? Yes. In time to stop the clock. Ole Miss thought he didn't get out of bounds.
And I think they have reason to believe it looked like his knee may have come down in the field of play. That should make the clock continue to run. Here you see Heupel just trying to get to the sidelines. No, he got there. The knee didn't come down. A good call by the official.
Good call. However, it did eat up some time on that clock. That was a 12-second play. He did a lot of running. Not yet in field goal range. Blitz coming. The throw. Caught. Jackson at the 20 to the 17. Clock stops. Oklahoma probably will use a timeout. Tim Duncan, the field goal kicker.
Rich, here's a time. I think they should just use a timeout. They have two timeouts left. They just lost 3 seconds by not calling a timeout. They have 2 left. What's the sense of going to the locker room with a timeout left?
And they lose it down.
Well, I don't think the down's very important yet. We'll see if it plays out to be important. But I just called a timeout, calm the offense down, especially after a big play. The offensive lineman got to run down all those big guys getting downfield.
The Dodge halftime report coming right up. Brian Kenny, John Makovic, dressed for the evening.
Dressed very appropriately in their black tie.
I like the look tonight, gentlemen. The officials right now are discussing the play clock. And now Jim McConaughey with the ready for play, which starts the play clock. Heupel, Griffin. Now they'll have to burn a timeout. And it takes them a while to get it. They may put some time back on that clock. But Gino, those 3 seconds are looking pretty big right now.
Well, I think the 3 seconds, also the 4 seconds that they saw when Ole Miss was going to call a timeout. They didn't get the play off before they called the timeout. They lost five seconds there. All these seconds are critical, especially when if they don't get out of bounds, they don't have a chance to get on the field and kick the field goal. Here with only 4 seconds left, the average play takes 6 seconds. So to me, they should probably just kick a field goal here and take the 3 points.
And it does not look like they will put any time back on the clock. So it's 4 seconds, and the Sooners are forced to settle for a shot at 3.
And there's no way for them, Oklahoma, to take a shot at the end zone and still have a chance to kick this field goal. That's why they have to kick the field goal here.
Every second counts is the moral of this story. Tim Duncan has missed from 35. He's hit from 34. This would be from 27. It's a fake, and Ole Miss sniffs. Ronnie Hurd was all over Patrick Fletcher, the backup quarterback and the holder. Ole Miss tried a fake punt. It didn't work. They try a fake field goal. That doesn't work. What a first half by the Rebels of Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss is prepared for everything. David Cutcliffe has done a great job. There you see the fake. Ole Miss did not buy it, able to sack the quarterback. There you see. You end with no points on the board, still down by 18. I think I'd rather kick the field goal there and at least take my chances going in at halftime down 21-6.
Bob Stoops watching that and not happy with the results. 21-3, Ole Miss on top of Oklahoma. Brian Kenny, take it away. 21-3, Ole Miss over Oklahoma. It's halftime in Shreveport. Rich Waltz along with Guy Lombardo. Actually, Gino Tourette, in honor of Newfoundland. I think it just turned over there, Gino. Happy New Year in Newfoundland.
Happy New Year to you too, Rich.
It was a happy first half for Ole Miss. They played very well, didn't they?
Deuce McAllister as good as advertised.
Yeah, I would blow it for Deuce. We'll do it later in the game. Now we're going down to Donnie McPherson. Donnie?
Okay, thanks, Rich. I'm joined now by the president of the Sanford Corporation, Paul Donahue. You have a great night here for the last game of the century. What are your impressions of the night and the game so far?
We got a beautiful evening. We got a sellout crowd. We got a great football game. I think everybody's a little bit surprised by the score right now, but I expect Oklahoma to come out in the second half and make a better game of it.
Now, everyone knows that you all make the Sharpie pens, Sanford Corporation. this bowl game? What has it meant for the Sanford Corporation?
Well, it gives us great exposure nationally for all of our other brands, Uniball and Accent and a number of the other great products that we make, including Sharpie. It also gets exposure out there for our company name, Sanford. And we've had a heck of a year this year, so we certainly feel that all of the sports marketing exposure has done a great job for our company.
As we come and travel to Shreveport, we see all the booming industry that's going on now in Shreveport. What are the plans for this bowl game in the Independence Stadium?
Well, the city of Shreveport and Bossier City, they are doing an awesome job of raising funds. They're going to put $20 million into this stadium next year, which we're thrilled to death to hear. It's certainly needed. They're going to put skyboxes up in the end zone. Lots of other development going around the city as well, and we're thrilled to hear it.
Paul, thanks very much, and have a great New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, John. Well, it's getting closer. They're ready here in Shreveport. A lot of fans from Ole Miss, a lot of fans from Oklahoma didn't get to make a lot of noise in the first half.
An imperative for Oklahoma to come out and drive in this first series, Rick.
Jarrell Jackson. A good return out to the 27-yard line. Pictures from the first half. It was a great show for Ole Miss. Deuce McAllister and Romero Miller got off to a quick start.
And Miller finding McAllister for the first touchdown. There you see Heupel. He's had 3 turnovers already this season. Then McAllister showing the good balance and the unbelievable speed for the long 80-yard touchdown run.
Josh Heupel and Oklahoma. Right back to the air. Jarrell Jackson to the 34-yard line. Gino Torretta, numbers from the first half. What do you see?
Well, I think the big thing is Oklahoma with the 3 turnovers. You can't afford turnovers, especially when you throw the ball as much as Oklahoma does for passing yards. They really need to have more success and not turn the ball over anymore this second half.
Deuce trying to stay loose. Second down short. Heupel to the sidelines, and he escapes with some help. Oklahoma wanted a flag. Eddie Strong provided the push.
I think what you don't see in those numbers is the Ole Miss defense, and Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator, has done a great job mixing up the looks that Heupel, the quarterback for Oklahoma, has seen. It's forcing him to hold the ball that little extra half of a second. And they've done an outstanding job adhering to their game plan in the first half.
Change on the way over. Bob Stoops, just 39 years of age. It is really a family affair for the Stoops. His brother Mike is a co-defensive coordinator. He's got another brother Mark, a defensive back coach at Wyoming, who's headed to Houston, and then his other brother Ron is a high school coach in Boardman. Let's go down below. Don McPherson. Donnie?
Hey, Rich, when I talked to Bob Stoops, he said his team has to pick up their intensity. He also said they have to do a better job in the red zone scoring. On the other side, David Cutcliffe said his team has done different things. He's also very happy with the way his defense has mixed things up and confused Josh Heupel.
I'll bet he is. Quentin Griffin out to the 45-yard line. That's a nice pickup for Griffin of 7 yards. Armija Spearman and Ken Lucas, the stop for Ole Miss.
Rich, I've been very surprised at the success that Oklahoma has had running the football. Maybe it's a time the offensive coordinator Mark Mangino say, hey, keep the ball on the ground. Let's have a successful drive here. Get a touchdown. We need some put some points on the board.
Here comes a blitz, and Heupel picks it up and delivers it quickly to Curtis Fagan for a first down.
And what Heupel didn't do in the first half, when Ole Miss brought pressure, he didn't see it early, wasn't able to find his primary receiver, and ended up either getting sacked, throwing the football away. That was a good job by Heupel, seeing the blitz and finding his open receiver.
Heupel, the jump pass, and it's dropped by Seth Luttrell. Gino, you used to throw that.
You throw all kinds of jump passes, Rich. I tell you what, though, that's a good job by Heupel. Anytime you're getting pressure, I don't care how you get it out of there. If you can deliver the football, you know, where you don't have your feet set going at your target, but you're still accurate throwing the football, that's he steps around in there, a little jump pass, and it was an accurate throw. The ball should have been caught.
I like it. Heupel is 2 yards shy of 200 yards. Flags come raining down. I think Ole Miss may have had 12 guys on the field.
Timeout on the defense. There's no flag on the play. The timeout was called prior to the flag.
They did have too many men on the field. That's why they burned the timeout. 21-3, Ole Miss.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Sanford Independence Bowl is brought to you by Boise. Call Boise for office supplies, furniture, computer products, and promotional products. And by Sonic, America's drive-in.
The Texas Street Neon Bridge over the Red River. There's an awful lot of red in this stadium. 30,000 have traveled with Oklahoma. Right now, though, Ole Miss on top, 21-3. Second and 10. Blitz coming. Heupel steps in front. Completes it. A nice catch by Chris Hammonds. And he has the first down. So Oklahoma has moved the chains.
Josh Heupel's done an outstanding job of stepping up in the pocket and able to break contain and finding his second and third receiver, able to pick up completions and keep moving the chains. That's what their goal is. Keep moving the chains, move it down the field. What he can't do, turn the ball over.
9 different receivers have caught balls. Daniels on a reverse. And a great move by Daniels. To the 15-yard line. Seneca Taylor, the stop for Ole Miss.
Rich, Daniels comes in motion across the formation. Just a little reverse handoff. He takes the handoff from Heupel, and he's got the speed to make someone miss on the outside. Now Oklahoma has to convert. They're inside the red zone. They have to pick up points here to get back into this ball.
Missed field goal, a missed fake field goal, and an interception. That snuffed out 3 drives. Griffin to the 5, gain of 9. Eddie Strong made the stop.
Rich, we've talked about their inability not to score inside the red zone. 86% scoring rate inside the red zone thus far this season. So not a normal day for them. Usually when they get down there, they're scoring.
This sea of red is just waiting to erupt. Movement, flags. Jackson, no, did not catch it. But a flag sits back at the line of scrimmage.
Heupel saw the one-on-one coverage with Jackson. Tries to throw the fade route, almost what's called a fade stop.
On the defense, the penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Big penalty.
Tries to throw that fade stop, but doesn't throw the ball high enough, and Jackson can't get his hands underneath the ball for a catch.
First and goal.
Maybe audible in the same play right here.
A look in. Did he get it? Jackson. No signal. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
And what Heupel sees, he sees one-on-one coverage with Jackson. They tried the fake stop. The play before wasn't successful. He says, hey, I'm going to throw the slant route. The slant's an easier throw for a quarterback to make. He throws that ball low. That's a good throw. Allows Jackson to get under and makes the touchdown catch.
Terrell Jackson, the senior out of Houston, from Josh Heupel. Oklahoma finally gets a drive to pay off.
Welcome back to ESPN's exclusive presentation of Circuit City Bowl Week.
Circuit City Bowl Week continuing in Shreveport. Oklahoma in the end zone for the first time, barely.
Jackson showing good body control, able to get his body underneath the ball and comes up with a good touchdown catch. Now Oklahoma's defense needs to step up, and they can't allow Deuce McAllister back there returning his kick because they need a stop and to get their offense back on the field.
McAllister, 4 yards deep. And the Rebels will bring it out to the 20. McAllister scored twice in the first half. The touches, 4 rushes, 3 catches, and 1 kickoff return.
And that's double his average through the regular season.
I'm surprised he hasn't touched it more. Movement and flags, and the flag came from the umpire.
Full start. 5-yard penalty.
Sunday on ESPN, National Hockey Nights. 8:30 Eastern, San Jose headed into Chicago to face the Blackhawks. Owen Nolan will be there. San Jose just trailing Phoenix by 2 points for the lead in the Pacific. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for all the NHL action. On 1st and 15, McAllister gets a touch and goes nowhere. Torrance Marshall, first to hit him. The momentum has swung a bit, Gino. The Oklahoma fans that are in this place are really jumping.
They're jumping, and what was big in that offsides penalty against Ole Miss, it puts them in a 1st and 15 situation. 1st and 2nd down for Ole Miss's offense is critical for them to sustain key drives.
Second and 15. Miller with the blitz on him. Man open. Can't catch it. Maurice Flournoy. And Flournoy may be hurt.
Boy, when Romaro Miller watches the film, he's going to wish he had this throw back because he makes an outstanding fake. It was a hitch and go. Flournoy makes a good stop route, and Miller just not able to connect on the hitch and go. It's tough to time that route up because you're trying to gauge how far the receiver is going to be downfield, but Flournoy was wide open. Here you see the defender. He bit on the fake and just threw it a little bit too far.
Miller is up and moving very well, so you suspect that he just had the wind knocked out of him.
Just barely too far to come up with the catch.
This is what the Oklahoma defense wanted. 3rd down and long. Fowler buying time, getting to the sideline. And he escapes unharmed, but well short of the first down. Rocky Kalmus in hot pursuit.
And the Oklahoma defense stepped up. Their offense came down, had a good touchdown drive. They stepped up. Now their offense get the ball back. Rich, we talked about the fake field goal at the end of the first half. Oklahoma would only be down 8 if they make that field goal attempt right before the half.
They missed the field goal, and of course, as you noted, that fake field goal didn't work as well. Reagan King, they almost got it. In fact, they almost got King. No flag, though. And the ball lands right around midfield. Come on to the second half. Down below, Don McPherson and a special guest. Donnie?
Hey, Rich, very special indeed. I'm joined now by Ken Heupel, the dad of Josh Heupel, and also a coach at Northern State.
Yes, in South Dakota.
That's right, in Aberdeen, South Dakota. That's right.
You got that right.
Coach, so far, the performance of your son, what do you think so far?
Well, I thought, the first half they really came out slow and really rusty looking. They were in the red zone 5 times. They didn't get any scores. I thought that was crucial. Coming out the second half and taking it down scoring, I thought was really big, and hopefully they can take the ball here again and get it done.
You obviously talk like a coach. How difficult is it to watch this game as a coach and as a father watching your son?
It's very difficult. The emotions run deep, and we had a lot of answers up there at halftime. But I'm glad to be here with the family and watching Josh play. They're used to, and it should be a great game.
Coach, because you coach, you don't get a chance to see him. This is only your 4th time seeing him this year, or seeing him ever in college. What's it like to see him live?
It's exciting. Anytime you can see your son or your daughter performing and that type of thing, it's exciting. And I'm just glad to be here and watching Josh in a great atmosphere. And hopefully they'll come back and win this ball game.
Ken, the whole family's down here. Have a great holiday.
Thank you very much.
It's been some journey for Heupel. Aberdeen, South Dakota, Weber State University, Snow Junior College, and then Oklahoma. Now he's in Shreveport, facing 2nd and 4. Here comes a blitz. Heupel's throw is low and outside for ball 2. 3rd down.
This throw's a little low by Heupel, but his tight end Trent Smith has to come up with this catch. Anytime there's a blitz, the receivers can't expect the quarterback to throw the ball perfect and be right on the money every time. It's not like he's just sitting back there and doesn't have any pressure.
Oklahoma did not face a 3rd down on that last 73-yard drive. They get one here, 3rd and 4. Heupel. He walked into a sack and goes down. A great effort by the Ole Miss defensive secondary.
A great effort by the Ole Miss defensive secondary. But I don't think we can give enough credit to Coach Kaufman, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss. I'm watching that play, and I see all-out pressure. Ole Miss, at the snap of the ball, they come out, they do not blitz. Oklahoma, and Heupel's not sure where to go with the ball. And there you see the father's reaction. So tough to watch your son.
I think that was the coach's reaction and the father's reaction. Jeff Ferguson to punt it, and he popped that one up. Ouch. Not a good one at all. They will mark it at the 48-yard line. That's a 7-yard effort. And Bob Stoops is letting him know about it. Next week on ESPN, the PGA Tour starts its 2000 season with the Mercedes Championship. Live from the Plantation Course at Kapalua. Tiger Woods won 8 tour events last year. He'll try to get a head start on this year. First round coverage begins Thursday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, go.com. Ole Miss, their own 45. Miller. Going down. At the 32, Ryan Fisher.
And the Oklahoma defense comes right back out and returns the favor to Ole Miss, brings the blitz, and able to get to Miller with the sack. Miller sees the blitz. There was actually pretty good protection by his offensive line. The running backs picked up the linebackers, but you don't have all day. If your first read isn't there, when you see a blitz like that, you have to just throw the football away.
Second and 20. Flournoy is back in the game and in motion. Miller was looking for him and finds him. He lost the ball. Ole Miss gets it back. Tutan Reyes recovered a loss of 3 more.
And Ole Miss is doing exactly what Coach Cutcliffe did not want to do, getting third and long situations. Here you see Miller just drops back. No one's open, finds his receiver late. And there you see the big hit. Able to knock the football out. Fortunately for Ole Miss, the offensive lineman, Tutan Reyes, came over and recovered the fumble.
Michael Thompson, the freshman out of Bristow, Oklahoma, made the hit. Miller's throw is incomplete.
And now the Oklahoma defense has really started to step up their game, and hopefully that can carry over to their offense. Like I said the last time, the Oklahoma offense needs to start putting points on the board.
2 times now the Oklahoma defense has had 3rd and long, and remember, Reagan King's last punt was almost blocked. This one is away. Jackson. Whoa! Jarrell Jackson is caught and dropped. Sheldon Morris on the special team. We've got a good one. The SEC and the Big 12. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. A big part of any bowl game. A visit here in Shreveport by the Oklahoma players to the Shriners Children's Hospital. Bob Stoops and his players very happy to do it. You know, you did a little bit of that when you played in the Shrine game out in Palo Alto as well.
And a wonderful experience, probably greater for the players to see just how fortunate you are when you go to the Shriners Hospital visit.
1st and 10 Oklahoma. Heupel. Jackson to the 28. Tim Strickland made the stop.
The Oklahoma defense, excuse me, the Ole Miss defense has really come out, and they're trying to hit, and they're hitting hard, these Oklahoma wide receivers.
6:43 left. We're in the 3rd. There's Art Kaufman, 5th year at Ole Miss. When Tommy Tuberville went to Auburn, he took literally his whole staff except Kaufman. And when David Cutcliffe got here, he embraced Kaufman. And with good reason. He's an outstanding defensive coordinator. Right on the money is Heupel. Right on the numbers to Brandon Daniel. 9 yards and a 1st down for Oklahoma. The 24th Sanford Independence Bowl. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. The final college football game of the century. And it's been a good one from a sold-out Independence Stadium in Shreveport. A 21-3 halftime lead by Ole Miss. Oklahoma scored on their first possession of this half, and they continue to move the football. Heupel's throw, Jackson the catch. Across the 40 to the 42.
And Art Kaufman really has this defense swarming. There you see just a wide receiver screen. The tackle is actually made by the defensive end. That's a great job. He didn't get pressure on Heupel, turns around and runs the receiver down.
Second down. Heupel. Oh, big hit. Savage holds on. Seneca Taylor there to greet him. But Antoine Savage made a great catch.
And Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, was very concerned with all the packages that Oklahoma runs, the different formations of motion. Here you see Heupel just stepping up in the pocket, able to find Savage. That's a great job of holding on to the football because that contact by Taylor is right when the ball gets there.
Heupel beats the blitz with a quick throw to Savage. 3 straight completions to Savage. And he's very close to a first down. And the Sooner Express is back on its rails. 3 straight completions by Heupel, and that is the greatest deterrent to a blitz. If you as a quarterback can make some completions, they turn out to be big plays. It forces the defense to come back, play zone coverage, and they'd rather not give up those big plays. Heupel. Gonna throw deep, man open, caught for a touchdown. Brandon Daniels. Oklahoma will go for 2. That was a great job by Josh Heupel buying time for his receivers to get open, and Daniels able to slip behind everybody in the secondary, and Heupel delivers a nice touchdown pass. The extra point team went out on the field. Heupel was still out there, and he looked at the sideline to head coach Bob Stoops, who wants the timeout and wants to talk about this opportunity, whether to go for 2 or take the point. And the question is, do they go for 2 and get it? You're only down by 3. Here you see the eyes of Josh Heupel. Takes the shotgun snap. No one's open. He senses the pressure by the Ole Miss defense, able to stay alive. Still keeps alive with his eyes downfield and finds Daniel behind everybody. He's wide open. Makes a catch right at the 1, goes in for the score. There you see he's buying time and sees Daniel. That's an outstanding job by Heupel because it's very tough when you're moving your feet and running around in that pocket to keep your eyes downfield. And there you see the reaction. Who says you have to throw a perfect spiral? That was perfect. It goes down in the book 1 for 1 and a touchdown in my book. In the book, he was 6 of 6 on that drive, 80 yards. And now let's see what the Ole Miss defense does, because the reaction is when you get burned on the blitz, then you end up tending to come out of the blitz and not pressure. Caught! Chris Hammonds flagged down. I think it's interference. And obviously Oklahoma would decline it. The 2-point conversion looks to be good. And there's an Ole Miss player down. And a great throw and catch by Heupel to Hammonds. Hammonds makes a tough grab, because he gets hit as soon as the ball gets there, maybe even a little bit before the ball gets there, and that's what we think the apparent flag is.
Pass interference on the defense. The penalty is declined. The points are good.
The junior out of Sulphur, Oklahoma, Chris Hammonds.
See, Heupel take the shotgun snap. It's a corner route by Hammonds. Heupel throws this ball before Hammonds even makes the cut. There you see just a super catch by Hammonds for the two-point conversion. The ball's in the air way before Hammonds makes that cut. There you see Stoops. He knows when they get the 2-point, now they're only down by 3. A field goal ties it. As coaches, you're always thinking one chess move ahead.
Tim Duncan, the kicker. It's a 3-point ball game. 21-3 at halftime. Deuce McAllister, Seneca Taylor, deep. McAllister. Out of bounds at the 18-yard line. It's been 5 years since Oklahoma went to a bowl game. The turnaround occurring this year. And this year, the Sooners finished at 5-3 in a very good Big 12 conference.
Coach Stoops and the rest of his staff have done a great job of getting the young players on the Oklahoma roster to buy and say, hey, we want to win now. We're not here for a 5-year program. We want to win now and continue winning after this season.
Let's see what Ole Miss does on first down on this drive. Deuce McAllister to the 20, gain of 2.
Rich, with this comeback by Oklahoma, what it does is it brings this crowd back into the ball game, because this is like home field advantage for Oklahoma, because they have about 70% of this stadium is Oklahoma fans.
Romero Miller, a pair of touchdown passes in the first half. McAllister to the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Don McPherson.
Well, Gino, you're exactly right. The crowd noise really does affect what happens on the field, and you can feel it down here. I'm behind the Ole Miss bench, and it's very quiet on the bench. Again, they have more than 130 players on the bench. That's 130 people not making a lot of noise, because Oklahoma's doing a great job coming back.
A big carry, enough for the first down towards Sanford. The defense of Oklahoma coordinated by 2 men. That's Brent Venables, who was a great linebacker at Kansas State. His defensive coordinator when he was there, Bob Stoops. The other defensive coordinator is Mike Stoops, who was an All-American in Iowa. Mike Stoops is upstairs. Brent Venables obviously downstairs. And first down goes Miller. Marshall.
Stoops and Venables told us Torrance Marshall and Kalmus are great blitzers, the linebacker. And there you see, he'll come out of the right-hand side of your screen. They run motion. Ole Miss offense doesn't adjust, and Miller does not see the blitz coming from his blind side. That's a big play, because 1st and 2nd down are key for the Ole Miss offense.
2nd and 16. Joe Gunn out to the 30. That was the original line of scrimmage. And it's a 3rd down and 10. This game has really turned from 1st to 2nd half.
and it's turned on the arm of Josh Heupel. He's had some success. Look at that. Negative yards for Ole Miss and 148 for Oklahoma, and all on the arm of Josh Heupel. He's had the opportunity. He's completed some passes, made some big plays, breaking contain, getting out of the pocket.
Blitz coming. Caught. Jamie Armstrong right on the stick. Michael Thompson on the coverage. With the spot, it looks like an Ole Miss first down.
And Ole Miss max protects. They did not want to get burned by the blitz again. Miller steps in the pocket. He knows he's got everybody blocked. A good, accurate throw. And there you see Armstrong making sure of the catch and going down with the ball, picking up the first down.
Final seconds, third quarter. Time on the play clock, not on the game clock. Romero Miller and Ole Miss will have 1st and 10 when we get back. The Sooners and the Rebels. Josh Heupel has Oklahoma right back in it. Mike Stoops on the right, Brent Venables on the left, co-defensive coordinators talking with each other, trying to stop Ole Miss. Rebels keep it on the ground. Up to the 44-yard line. Deuce McAllister, the ball carrier. Our Beck storyline of the final college football game of this century. Deuce McAllister was the star in the first half. An 80-yard touchdown run, a touchdown catch. But Josh Heupel of Oklahoma has brought the Sooners back in the second half. Look at the yards by half. Miller. Caught by Adam Bettis, the tight end. Roy Williams on the coverage. Bettis had a 9-yard touchdown pass from Miller. Ole Miss built a 21-3 lead at the half.
And I think one thing they should go back to, Rich, you have to get the ball to Deuce McAllister. Had a lot of success in the first half. They really haven't had a chance to let him try to make a big play.
David Cutcliffe told us not only is he a great running back, he's one of our best receivers. Peterson, that's a gorgeous throw. Out at the 30-yard line. Mike Woods on the coverage. Miller showing some arm.
Miller showing arm, but what sets it up is the play action fake to McAllister. The Oklahoma defense sucks up. Miller gives Miller time to throw this pass, and Peterson on the out route. There you see Miller's got all day to throw. Another nice spiral on the outcut. Peterson picks up the big yardage.
Leave me. 19 yards on the pickup. Miller's had a good day. Uh-oh. McAllister gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that was probably McAllister's best run of the day, even though just to get back to the line of scrimmage, it looked like there was a miscommunication. Either Miller came out or McAllister went to the wrong side. Did a nice job to get back to the line of scrimmage and make it 2nd and 10.
Miller, lots of time. Tumbling, Jamie Armstrong cannot make the catch. And there's a flag down back at the 34. Ball might have been tipped as well.
The ball was tipped, but usually where that flag comes in, when you have that much time to throw, there could be a holding penalty on the offensive line.
Romero Miller begs to disagree.
And I could be wrong.
That's a 15-yard face mask.
Wow, instead of 3rd and 10, that gives Ole Miss a first down, and it continues to move the chains down the field.
Les Binkley, the field goal kicker.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask on the defense. Automatic first down.
See a look at Stoops. Very disappointed because the defense held, but with the face mask, it continues to drive and gives offensive Ole Miss 15 yards. There's the face mask by the defensive lineman, Ryan Fisher.
McAllister to the 14. Torrance Marshall made the stop.
Rich, and with 12 minutes left, time really isn't a factor with the way Oklahoma throws the football, because they have a chance to stop the clock throwing the football, get some outcuts, get some passes completed at the sideline. So time isn't a factor yet.
It's hard to believe that on New Year's Eve. It will be soon, though, Gino. In both cases, Miller. The catch is by Jamie Armstrong. That will not help his yak yards. The yardage after catch.
And I tell you what, right as Romero Miller threw that football, he threw it and realized he probably could have run for about 15 yards up the middle, maybe had a chance of getting in the end zone.
And now it's 3rd and 7. Miller throws it away. The pressure by Roger Steffen. The junior out of El Reno, Oklahoma. David Cutcliffe is not a happy coach.
And Oklahoma defense did a great job of adjusting. They bend, but they didn't break. And now let's see if Ole Miss can convert with the field goal.
Les Binkley with his first attempt. He was 14 of 16 this year. 29 yards. It's away and it's good.
29-yard kick by Les Binkley.
David Cutcliffe still steaming. But Ole Miss adds 3, 24-18. Les Binkley from 29 out.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Sanford Independence Bowl is presented by Uniball pens from Sanford. Smooth, real smooth. And in part by Ford Outfitters. No boundaries.
Quite a show on New Year's Eve by Oklahoma and Ole Miss. Along with producer Brian Carter, director John Del Vecchio, Rich Waltz, Gino Torretta, Don McPherson. Bob Stoops. His Sooners down big at the half. Jarrell Jackson awaits. Jackson to the 37-yard line. Jarrell Jackson with a nice return.
Jarrell Jackson with a return.
Earlier tonight, a gentleman named Donald Weaver out of Freeport, New York, hit a field goal for $25,000. The Boise Cascade Foundation not only gave Weaver $25,000, they donated $25,000 to the Susan Komen Breast Cancer Fund. Boise Cascade, a big sponsor of the Independence Bowl. That's a pressure kick, Gino. Of course, he had 2 minutes, and he missed about 6 of them. Griffin. Now to the 35-yard line.
Why do you have to steal the thunder, Rich?
I know.
Come on.
I know.
The guy kicked the field goal.
Hey, he's got 25,000. He's a happy guy.
He's taking us out tonight, right?
I would hope so. Ole Miss early. In fact, Deuce McAllister with a couple of touchdowns. Then Oklahoma stormed back in the third. Missed opportunities for the Sooners in the first half. Josh Heupel down 6. Inside shovel. It goes as a pass. And Daniels, who was a quarterback last year, as a first-team Big 12 receiver this year. 2 years ago, Gino, he was the strong safety. Last year, he played quarterback. This year, he makes the move to wide receiver, and he's first-team all-conference.
He's done a great job converting. 50 catches, 3 touchdowns already this season.
On 3rd and short, Heupel straight ahead. First down.
You mentioned that little flip pass. That counts as a pass and a completion. Those are the best for a quarterback. Throw him 2 yards and your receiver picks up 10 or 12.
Heupel's pass caught by Savage. Savage inside Ole Miss territory to the 39. It's a gain of 14.
It's a gain of 14. Credit Savage with making some defenders from Ole Miss miss the tackles, because Heupel throws this pass about 4 or 5 yards downfield on a little stop route, little slant. There you see Savage make the defenders miss and pick up the first down.
Here comes a blitz. Heupel on the money. Jarrell Jackson. Very close to a first down.
Heupel's really done a great job sitting in the face of pressure and delivering the passes. Here you see Jackson goes up on a curl route, and Heupel able to stand in that pressure and deliver the strike to Jarrell Jackson for another first down. Or excuse me, 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1 for Oklahoma.
Independence Bowl record and an Oklahoma Bowl record now with 34 completions. A big sack, because 2nd and 1 just became 3rd down and 6.
Besides 3rd down and 6, Rich, that sack all but takes you out of field goal range. So now Oklahoma has to pick up the first down. A great job by Shane Elam of getting pressure and getting the Heupel for the sack.
Art Kaufman's defense trying to hold on. Heupel. Daniels. He's got the first down to the 24-yard line. Chad Cook made the stop. Heupel continues to click.
And these little short passes, this is like Oklahoma's running game. The short passes account for the running game. I know it goes as passing yardage, but this is just a little inside slant route. Heupel sees it off the snap of the ball, delivers a nice pass, picks up the first down.
Heupel has hit 10 in a row now. 11 in a row. Savage fights his way to the 19. It's a gain of 5. Coming up after this one, Carl Ravitch, Bill Pito, and Sports Center. Complete bowl wrap-up of all the games today. Scores, highlights, Brett Hull going for his 600th. Then the question of the night, sports moment of the century. That's Sports Center coming up following the Sanford Independence Bowl, the last college football game this century. And it's a good one. Heupel. Hit. Lost the ball. Was it a throw or a fumble? It's a fumble, and Ole Miss has it. How about that?
What a job by the Ole Miss defense. Art Kaufman stays with his idea. He wants to pressure Heupel. Heupel sees the blitz. The protection of Oklahoma does not pick it up. Heupel, I think, tried to do a little bit too much here. Just take the sack. He almost tried to do that little jump pass like he did on the first half. And Anthony Sims able to force the turnover. There you see the blitz by Taylor. Doesn't sack Heupel, but forces him to make that bad decision to try to throw the football.
Ole Miss on the ground now. McAllister to the 20-yard line.
Ole Miss has to sustain a drive here, Rich. If they can do that, they'll take a lot of time off the clock and force Oklahoma into a 2-minute situation when they get the ball back.
Or Oklahoma turnovers. Heupel will get another shot. McAllister. Whoa, look at that. The knee hit and McAllister is down. I don't know about that.
What balance by McAllister. Even if the knee did hit, for him not to go down was unbelievable. There you see, just takes the draw fake. Getting upfield. There you see the hit. Whoa, his knee didn't even hit. Rich, he might be still running if they don't call him down here. There you see, he slips and falls.
Oh, it did, Gino. Great call by the official.
Good officiating call. That's why I'm not wearing the stripes today, Rich.
That was a fine rebound, Gino. And a good call by this Big East crew. McAllister to the 32. And we had to look at it twice in slow motion. They got it right the first time in real time.
They're a little bit closer to the field than us.
5.5 minutes left. Ball game. Ole Miss on top throughout this game.
I will say, though, Ole Miss is that close with a big play by McAllister to put the nail in the coffin.
The knee hits this time at the 34-yard line.
McAllister, the ball carrier. Torrance Marshall.
Rocky Kalmus made the stop.
And Rocky Kalmus on the tackle for Oklahoma. 82 on the play, the 34-yard.
What I'd like to see here, Rich, is a third medium situation for Ole Miss. I'd like to see him throw the ball to McAllister out of the backfield.
Deuce at the top of your screen. Miller picked up and dropped. Oh, Torrance Marshall. Torrance Marshall, the junior, who has played a tremendous game tonight.
Played a tremendous game. The Big 12 Defensive Newcomer of the Year. 7 sacks. Miller just tries to force this ball, and Torrance Marshall makes a nice break on it. Those are good instincts for a linebacker. But you know what they say, Rich? That's why he's playing linebacker and not fullback.
Or tight end. But he's a good one. Reagan King has had a couple near misses. This one away cleanly. Not a long one, but a great bounce. If you're a Rebel. At the 21, Oklahoma will try to put it in and come back. 20 minutes from New Year's in the East. After the game, Sports Center will be in full force. Defense for Ole Miss has been here all night.
They've been outstanding. Forced 4 turnovers already. Here you see the first fumble. They had 3 turnovers in the first half. There you see the fumbled exchange between the center and quarterback. And then Heupel tried to force the ball. McAllister coming up with a big interception. And there was the last. The attempt at a jump pass. And Heupel fumbles the ball.
This youngster trying to hold out for the celebration. Both the Oklahoma celebration and the one after that. Josh Heupel with the chance to wake him up. I'm not sure who that was going to, and that may be interference. Brandon Daniels, or it may be an ineligible receiver. Let's see. Eddie Strong was hooked up with Brandon Daniels. And ineligible receiver.
Possible downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. They keep it down.
It has been an outstanding Circuit City Bowl week, and it concludes tomorrow on ESPN, 11 a.m. Eastern, the 2000 Outback Bowl. Drew Brees and Purdue against the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia looking for their second Out-Bowl back win in 3 years. It all begins at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific with Bowl game day. Josh Heupel now. Incomplete. Second down and long.
And Rich, the illegal offensive lineman downfield. It was a good job. Ole Miss forced Heupel to hold on to the ball, and what it was attempt at is a wide receiver screen. As soon as the snap, those offensive linemen are going downfield. They're on a 1 count, and they're going down to try to block for the receiver. That extra half a second he held the ball. That's what the penalty was.
Heupel caught by Daniels. Almost gets loose. Down at the 28-yard line, short of the first down. 3rd down and a long 3, maybe 4.
See Heupel take the shotgun snap, finding Daniels in the flat area. Daniels able to make a big play, gets upfield with yards after the catch. Now it's a makeable situation, puts him in a 3rd and medium instead of a 3rd and long.
Flags down, Heupel goes down, and this may be against Ole Miss. They may have moved early. Seneca Taylor, a big hit on Josh Heupel.
Unfortunate for the Ole Miss defense, because I think this is going to be encroachment on the defense.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Because Taylor, here you see Taylor creep up late on the blitz, Heupel does not see him, and Seneca Taylor just delivers a blow to Josh Heupel.
And a heads-up job by the senior center, Matt O'Neill. O'Neill snapped the ball once he saw the defense across the line of scrimmage. First and 10 now. Griffin. There goes Griffin. And he's out of bounds at the 43. 24 yards for Quentin Griffin.
Rich, we said earlier, Quentin Griffin doesn't get a chance that often to run with the football. Averages over 6.5 yards a carry. And here he shows some fleet of foot, and he's very nimble and very fast. Good cutback, nice vision there in the hole. Oklahoma needs to continue of making those big plays to keep these chains moving on this drive, because now time is a factor with less than 4 minutes to go in this ball game.
2 timeouts apiece as we're under 4 minutes. Shovel pass. Griffin again to the 38. It's a gain of about 4. Clock will roll. Armija Spearman made the stop.
Where most conventional offenses, they'll drop back and just hand it to the running back as a draw. That serves as Oklahoma's draw. The little shovel pass. Quentin Griffin just tries to hide up inside the line of scrimmage. And Heupel just with the little shovel pass.
Here comes the blitz. Heupel gets it off. Daniels. He's dragged down at the 17-yard line. First and 10, Oklahoma.
Rich, I'm sure Heupel is finding Brandon Daniels, because as a former quarterback, Daniels can recognize when there's going to be blitz pressure. Heupel sees the pressure, and I'm sure Daniels does. Makes a quick move inside, able to make another big play. I'm sure Heupel realizes, just how important Daniels' experience at quarterback is to him as his wide receiver.
Heupel doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout. The play clock was running down. 24-18. The Sooners on the move. Downtown Shreveport, not a lot going on there. Maybe. We're not done here yet. Inside Independence Stadium, a sellout. Heupel scrambling, looking, throwing. Griffin, touchdown, Oklahoma!
Heupel has made the big plays for Oklahoma's offense when he stepped out of the pocket. He feels the pressure, able to break contain, still keeps his eyes downfield, and able to find Griffin in the back of the end zone.
A very large extra point for a sophomore out of Clinton, Oklahoma, Tim Duncan. It's blocked, and it gets through. How about that?
When things bounce your way, they bounce your way, and that ball was a big bounce for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma with their very first lead of the night. Barely. Following Quentin Griffin, Tim Duncan sneaks it through. 25-24 Oklahoma. Oklahoma 25, Ole Miss 24. A madhouse at Independence Stadium.
And I'm sure most of these fans did not think they were going to wait till 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter to have a lead in this football game.
Deuce McAllister, who is capable of taking it back, is deep. McAllister from the 2. McAllister. Deuce. McAllister is all the way out to the 45-yard line. He is something.
He is something. McAllister is something. Let's take a look. There you see Heupel able to keep his eyes downfield, break contain, but keep his eyes downfield and find Griffin in the back of the end zone. Griffin does a great job once he makes the catch of keeping his feet inside the field of play for the touchdown. There you see after the throw, he knows once that catch, they're going to have the lead with the extra point.
The focus shifts now to the Rebels. Ole Miss, their own 42. Romero Miller, the junior quarterback. McAllister, an inside handoff, and Deuce McAllister races across midfield. Very close to the first down. He's short by a yard. The Rebels have to hurry.
Rich, I don't think there's any doubt who Ole Miss is going to go to. They're going to go to McAllister early and often on this drive.
And remember, all Mississippi needs is field goal range. They have 2 timeouts. And they have Deuce McAllister, who breaks another one. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage. That could be a huge penalty. Ole Miss will decline it. The Rebels have to be careful, though, Gino, because the clock's going to start on ready for play.
The clock's going to start with...
Offside on the defense. The penalty is declined.
What's been very impressive is the power that McAllister has shown as a running back on this last drive. He's already showed us his speed. Now he's showing us his power.
Very close to field goal range. Miller throwing. Incomplete. Jamie Armstrong, the intended receiver, 2nd and 10.
And if Armstrong comes up with that catch, Rich, that puts them in field goal range, albeit a long field goal.
2nd and 10 for Ole Miss.
25-24. Oklahoma. Ole Miss with a pair of timeouts. On 2nd and 10. Miller, lots of time. And a man, it's caught. L.J. Taylor. Clock continues to roll. Ole Miss will burn a timeout. And this is going to be a very interesting 3rd down. Miller on his way to the sidelines. Les Binkley getting ready. Stick around. Brent Venables trying to rally this Oklahoma defense. 25-24. Ole Miss down a point, faced with 3rd down and 2 from the Oklahoma 32. Les Binkley getting the right leg loose. Flags come down. From the part of the field that would indicate Oklahoma had too many men on the field.
There they go, substitution. 12 men on the field on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
My goodness.
1st down.
What a costly penalty there on the Oklahoma defense, especially coming out of a timeout. They're making last-minute adjustments.
3rd down and short just became 1st and 10. is obviously upset right now. A Sooner player did leave the field after the flag and after the play was stopped.
What a costly penalty.
McAllister not going very far. This is not a sure thing in terms of field goals. They're still about 45, 46 yards away in field goal range.
You see Binkley warming up his leg, 15 to 17 on the season with a long of 49.
He's hit some big kicks this year, Gino. Sanford trying to hold on to the ball. Josh Heupel can only watch. And the clock is rolling down. Third down. You know, Ole Miss is letting it roll down. It's at the left hash. And it looks like the Rebels are going to bring on Les Binkley. And with a down to burn, they call the timeout, Gino, with 3 seconds left.
I think if I'm going to attempt the field goal on third down, I don't wait that long to call a timeout. Give myself 2 chances.
Gino, we've just been informed that it's New Year's, baby.
Happy New Year's, East Coast.
It's the furthest thing from Les Binkley's mind. But Happy New Year. Glad to see we still have transmission. Les Binkley hit a 40-yarder to beat Memphis. He hit a 45-yarder to send the Auburn game into overtime, a game in which Ole Miss won.
Rich, special teams have been so critical in bowl games. We've seen a lot of block kicks already, missed field goals. What a way to end the millennium.
Timeout, Oklahoma. They will try to burn the timeout. It gives me an opportunity to thank the entire ESPN crew here in Shreveport. Our camera folks have done a wonderful job tonight. A difficult night to work with a lot of families across the country. A bunch of people that have worked with us, Gino, throughout the year. It's our final game together. Scott Garifo, Susie Hinsdale, Russ Lipkin, Tony Britt, my statistician, Ryan Church, our spotter. Sports Center is coming up. The celebration has started on the East Coast. Ole Miss will have to wait another 3 seconds.
What a super game. I tell you what, after the first half, we weren't too sure if Oklahoma was going to be able to climb back into the ball game, but they clawed their way back into it, never panicked, just kept coming out. The defense stepped their game up, and it brought the level of play for the Oklahoma offense up to take the lead late in this ball game.
Les Binkley. For the win. It is up. It is good. Ole Miss wins it. The Rebels have won their 4th straight ball game.
What a clutch kick by Les Binkley. Rich, I don't know what it is. We've had some outstanding games this year. What a way to end the millennium with a game with a last-second field goal for Ole Miss to win this ball game.
These two schools started playing football in the 1800s. 9 national championships between them. They have never met on the football field until the final game of this century. And this ball game lived up to it.
See, that's good snap, good hold. Binkley puts it up, stripes that one right down the middle.
Binkley hit a bunch of big kicks this year. None bigger than this one.
He knows right when he kicks it, too. Hey, that ball, if it doesn't get blocked, it's going right through the uprights.
The Rebels win their second consecutive Sanford Independence Bowl. 8-4 on the season. David Cutcliffe and his Rebels are winners tonight. But Oklahoma put up a tremendous fight. For Don McPherson and Gino Toretta, I'm Rich Waltz. Ole Miss wins a thriller. Bring on New Year's. Bring on Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, proud to celebrate another moment from our first 20 years. For more, log on ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.